Puglia, a region in southeastern Italy, is an undiscovered gem for travelers seeking a blend of history, culture and breathtaking scenery. Puglia is known for its white sandy beaches, crystal clear waters, medieval towns and unique cuisine. The region is also rich in archaeological sites, Roman ruins and Byzantine churches. A visit to Puglia is an opportunity to immerse yourself in a distinctive culture and traditions that have been passed down from generation to generation. In this video we will present some of the most fascinating sites in Puglia that every traveler should experience during a visit. If you like this video, please support our channel with a like, comment or subscription. Thank you. Castel del Monte is probably the most imposing building in Puglia. The medieval fortification was once the hunting lodge of Emperor Frederick II and impresses with its octagonal design. In addition to the idyllic nature and the numerous picturesque villages, there are some fascinating buildings to admire in the Italian region of Puglia. Those who are enthusiastic about architecture and history should definitely visit the famous Castel del Monte in the town of Andrea. The famous hunting lodge of Emperor Frederick II is the most impressive medieval structure in southern Italy and is still well preserved in its original form. The fort is located high up on a hill and can be easily seen from a distance. Frederick II chose this location in order to have a good overview and to recognize enemies early. He also used the imposing structure to underpin his position of power in the empire. The extraordinary beauty of the Grotte di Castellana caves, attracts travelers from all over the world and has fascinated more than 15 million visitors since its opening. The caves, which are about 90 million years old, are located at a depth of about 60 meters and have countless fossils, stalagmites, stalactites and bizarre limestone formations. The Grotte di Castellana is open all year round and can be explored via two possible guided tours. A full cave walk covers 3 kilometers and takes about 2 hours, while the leaner option is limited to 50 minutes and 1 kilometer. Both tours start in an enormous abyss called La Grave at a depth of 60 meters. One of the most interesting areas of the caves is the Grotta Bianca, White Grotto, which owes its name to the luxuriant layer of white alabaster and is one of the most beautiful in the world. The Grotte di Castellana are a unique experience that no vacationer traveling in Puglia should miss. Lecce in Puglia is the charming capital of Salento in southern Italy. In the small university town, an enchanting old town invites you to linger. In addition, there are great sights to discover in Lecce. Because of the many churches and palaces from the Baroque period, Lecce is also known as the Florence of the South. The sights of Lecce, such as the Piazza San Oronzo with the amphitheatre, the Baroque church of Santa Croce, the cathedral square and the extraordinary church of Sant'Niccolò e Cataldo can be easily visited within a day. It is also worth strolling down via Salvatore Trinches to the modern Piazza Manzini to get an idea of the modern city. Even if the explosive development of the modern city has led to the historical center of Lecce, by the way, as in many other cities in Italy, being pretty much abandoned, Piazza Sant'Oronzo has remained the center of the city. However, Lecce is particularly suitable as a location for a trip to Puglia because of its optimal position between the Adriatic Sea and the Ionian Sea. The beaches of San Cataldo on the Adriatic Sea can be reached in less than 30 minutes. Fascinating architecture, Mediterranean landscape and unique culinary experiences await visitors to the southern Italian town of Alberobello. The small town is best known for its characteristic conical buildings, the trulli. These can be found everywhere in Puglia, especially in the Morgia dei Trulli, but nowhere do they appear in such numbers as in Alberobello. Since 1996, the Trulli have been a UNESCO World Heritage Site and attract tourists from all over the world to the small town on the tip of the Italian boot. Simply quaint are the Trulli, these simple, whitewashed round houses that can usually be spotted from a distance thanks to their cone-shaped roofs. In the two historic districts of Alberobello, Rione Monti, and Ia Piccola, there are more than 1,500 Trulli. The largest Trullo is the Trullo Sovrano, the only one with 2 floors, which today houses a private museum. Those who want to intensively enjoy the special flair of these unique buildings can eat in one of the numerous Trulli restaurants or opt for an overnight stay in one of the Trulli. Green-blue clear water gently lapping at a narrow bay, surrounded by high-banded rocks from which whitewashed houses seem to grow. Among them, countless small and larger grottos, which bore mysteriously and enchanted into the rock. This is Polignano or Mare. From Bronze Age settlers, to Greek colonists, to Roman citizens, in the course of history, the most diverse people and peoples have left their traces here. And even today, this little town is a favorite place to stay for Italians and people from all corners of the world. The view of Polignano or Mare is impossible to forget for anyone who has been there. Tight on the perforated limestone spur, the whitewashed houses crowd up to the precipice and rise like many brightly shining castle ramparts of a medieval fortress. A walk through the clean, narrow streets, often with a view of the sea, lets you participate in southern Italian life and guides the visitor directly to the cozy piazza in the center of town. A special experience is a visit to the Grotta Palazzese, which is not only the largest and most beautiful cave below the city, but also with a noble restaurant tempts visitors to a romantic dinner on the steep terrace of the rock. The small port city of Otranto on the Adriatic coast enchants not only with its picturesque old town, but also with some important sights. Otranto is located at the very tip of Italy's boot heel and is considered the easternmost city in Italy. From here, the Albanian mainland is only 82 kilometers away. Thus, the strait between Albania and Italy at this point is also called the Strait of Otranto. Archaeologists assume that the area around today's Otranto has been inhabited since the Bronze Age. Until today, the small port city has had a very eventful history. The town, which has only about 5,500 inhabitants, can offer tourists some very significant sights thanks to its glorious history. The highlight of the city is the Cathedral of Santa Maria Annunziata, in which there is a very well-preserved floor mosaic from the 12th century. Also buried in the church are the bones of the 800 martyrs of Otranto, who are venerated by Catholics as saints. Every year in mid-August a festival is held in their honor. A wonderful view of the city and the sea can be enjoyed from the fortified castle Castello Aragonese. Torre Sant'Andrea is characterized by towering rock pillars that stand in front of a small Italian fishing community. Eerily impressive and dramatic in appearance, these sea pillars have formed as a result of the erosion of the sinuous cliffs on the coast, carved out by the constant whipping of wind and water. Cracks, tunnels, natural arches and bridges, and towering lumps of rock have gradually been carved out of this stretch of coastline, forming this incredibly picturesque image of this unforgettable stretch of Italian coastline. Among all the beautiful beaches in Salento, all the lovely swimming spots, all the idyllic spots where you can take in the majestic beauty of this part of the world, the Grotta della Poesia, which means the Cave of Poetry, is the most spectacular attraction of all. This circular cave is a natural swimming pool on the Adriatic coast. The Grotta della Poesia is one of the most beautiful natural pools in the world. Like many other historical and archaeological sites in the Rocca Vecchia area, this one is also shrouded in local myths. It is said that a beautiful princess dipped into the waters, and the poets and singers, fascinated by the girl, wrote verses and songs in her honor. A winding old town surrounded by water, culinary experiences and a lively nightlife, this is what the southern Italian city of Gallipoli offers its visitors. Gallipoli is located on the Salent Peninsula and is one of the oldest cities in the region. The whole old town of Gallipoli resembles a fortress. It is located on an island that can be reached by bridges, and for centuries it was protected from invaders by walls, towers and bastions. Today you can climb the latter and enjoy fantastic views of the city and the sea. Gallipoli and the immediate surroundings of the city are perfect for a relaxing seaside vacation with cultural interludes. The coastal stretches of the Salento Peninsula are among the most beautiful in Italy. Towns and villages charm with their original charm. Gallipoli is divided into two districts: the Old Town, located on the island, the Centro Storico, and the village of the Borgo. Worth seeing is the entire Old Town with its churches, fortifications and palaces. In the heart of the Centro Storico and at the highest point of the Old Town is the cathedral, the Basilica con Cattedrale di Sant'Agata. The picturesque town of Ostuni is located in the province of Brindisi on the Adriatic coast. If you are planning a relaxing vacation with the whole family, you will get your money's worth in this dreamlike small town in the Puglia region. The surrounding landscape with its numerous olive trees and vineyards invites to long excursions. In just a few minutes from the town center, vacationers can also reach the coast of the Adriatic Sea, which is only about 8 kilometers away. The landmark of Ostuni is the beautiful old town, which is built on 3 hills. Thanks to the height of about 230 meters, visitors have a magnificent view of the surrounding countryside with its olive plantations. The old town of Ostuni is characterized above all by its white limestone houses. In the narrow streets around the Piazza della Libertà, the beauty of the White City shows its most impressive side. Numerous sacred buildings such as the Cathedral of Santa Maria Assunta are waiting to be visited here. In the small cafes and restaurants, guests can enjoy typical Italian cuisine and end the day with a good glass of red wine. Officially one of the most beautiful villages in all of Italy, Locorotondo is a wonderful addition to a Puglia vacation. With its pretty town center and reputation for excellent wine, you can be sure to be delighted when visiting Locorotondo. While nearby Alberobello is famous for its traditional trulli houses, Locorotondo also has its own unique architecture. Commerce. These houses with pointed gable roofs are very unusual in Puglia, so you will be surprised by the unique views. The town itself is the main site. The historic center has a circular shape, hence the name of the place, and you can spend a few pleasant hours strolling through the whitewashed streets and admiring the beautiful architecture adorned with colorful flower pots. The most imposing structure in the whole town, the Mother Church of San Giorgio, was built between 1790 and 1825. The highlights of the church, built on a typical cross plan, include the neoclassical facade from the end of the 18th century and the beautiful marble altar. You won't find big shopping streets and a turbulent nightlife in Monopoli, but that's precisely why the town has a very special charm. Even Henry VI knew how to appreciate the place, and so he had a stately castle built here with a view of the water. Originally founded by the Greeks, it passed to Italy in the 15th century. The port of Monopoli has a great economic importance for the town and is also a popular destination for vacationers. It is pleasant that the city has not yet been taken over by tourist crowds. Prices are still low. the alleys quiet and the pubs populated mainly by locals. So if you want to get to know the true heart of Italy, Monopoli is the place to be. Monopoli is framed by a wide city wall, which was once supposed to protect against attacks by ships. Today it is as much a part of the cityscape as the former castle of Henry VI. The front side facing the sea is ideal for relaxing and enjoying the view of the water. The most popular places in the Valle d'Itria are Locorotondo, Ostuni and especially Alberobello. In addition, Cisternino is almost considered an insider tip. But Cisternino is officially one of the borghi più belli d'Italia, which means one of the most beautiful villages in Italy. It is located on a hill, so you can look far over the valleys and the small hills of Puglia. Especially at sunset, this is a great spectacle thanks to the many trulli in the area. The townscape is characterized by white houses, small archways and artistically decorated alleys. Cisternino is also one of those places that focus on sustainability and regionality and emphasize this often and everywhere. In the town there are several restaurants with the highest culinary standards, of which you should visit at least one. Cisternino is small and the old town around Via Santa Lucia and Corso Umberto can be walked around in an hour. A regional art scene has settled in the village. At every corner of the alley you will find an exhibition or artistically decorated house walls. The Gargano National Park is a promontory on the coast of Puglia in southern Italy. Covering an area of 118,144 hectares with forests of pine, palm oak and almond, orange and olive trees. The coast and beaches in the north of the Gargano National Park are flat and sandy, while the southern part is dominated by high cliffs with smaller bays. The heart of the national park consists of the Umbra forest, covered by beech and pine trees. The small historical villages of Vieste, San Menio, Peschici, Matanata, Cagnano Varano, San Giovanni Rotondo, Vico del Gargano and others and the breathtaking blue sea of the Adriatic coast complete a stay in one of the most beautiful areas in southern Italy. Also the Tremiti archipelago with magnificent nature is part of the national park, including marine reserve. Trani on the Adriatic Sea is a beautiful town with an old centre that takes visitors back to the Middle Ages. Typical of the town are the whitewashed buildings, which contrast in colour with the sea and the sky. Trani attracts mainly tourists who enjoy the elegant and chic life. In the bars and restaurants at the marina you can end the day after a stroll through the historic centre. The architecture with magnificent palazzi, churches and especially the impressive cathedral is one of the highlights of the Apulian city. In the Middle Ages, Trani was home to several buildings that are probably unique in Italy. For many centuries, the imposing cathedral has been a landmark for sailors on the Adriatic. At that time, the strategically located port of Trani was the starting point for trade and numerous crusades. At the northern end of the harbour, the cathedral is a fascinating building in Romanesque style. The attractive structure with its creamy white facade of lime almost resembles a mighty fortress. Only about 100 meters from the cathedral is another architectural attraction of Trani, the castle of Emperor Frederick II, completed in 1233. Like hardly any other Italian city, Bari has two completely different faces. On the peninsula jutting out into the sea, the old town with its labyrinthine maze of narrow streets, in which one sometimes feels as if one were in an Arabian Casbah. There, the streets seem to belong less to the public and more to the private living space of the inhabitants. On the other side is the modern new town with its checkered streets. In between, the wide promenade Corso Emanuele II, which strictly separates the two parts. In the old town low houses and small stores, in the new town splendid town houses and elegant stores, where those who live in the old town are hardly ever seen. Although the now neatly maintained old town has been largely renovated in recent years, the division between rich and poor is clearly noticeable. The old town undoubtedly possesses great charm and offers abundant architectural and cultural attractions. The Tremiti Islands archipelago, which belongs to the Puglia region, is a marine protected area located about 22 kilometers north of the Gargano Cape. The extraordinary beauty of the landscape and its fascinating past make this place unique in the world. It is almost impossible not to be enchanted by the lush vegetation, turquoise waters and beautiful seaside resorts that characterize the islands of the archipelago. San Domino is not only the largest and most populated island of the Tremiti archipelago, but also the most frequented by tourists. Here the scent of the salty sea mixes with the fragrance of the typical Aleppo pine trees that cover the entire surface and in some places reach the cliffs overlooking the sea. The steep and rugged coastline is full of grottos, caves and picturesque bays to discover. The crystal-clear waters and transparent seabed invite you to dive and swim for long periods of time. An island that still has a wild character whose charm cannot possibly leave you indifferent. The Italian port city of Brindisi finds its first mention as early as the 3rd century, when it was conquered by the Romans. Those who plan a vacation stay in Brindisi either want to spend their vacations on the Italian Adriatic or travel further. This is because the millennia-old port city, which already had a special significance in Roman times due to its exposed location, is still an important hub for international ferry traffic today. Ferries depart from here to Patras and other cities in Greece, Turkey, and Albania, among others. Among the most interesting sites in Brindisi are the Castello Aragonese and the Svevo Castle. Also worth seeing is the Colonne del Porto, an 18-meter-high column dating from the 2nd century AD. It served as an important landmark for sailors for many centuries. The picturesque, historic city centre of Brindisi is also worth a visit. Here, among other things, is the Porticato dei Cataniano, built in the 14th century, which served as the seat of the legendary Templars.